Hi, welcome back to Cross Stitch the Globe. My name is Stephanie and this is a channel about cross stitch. And I got back from StitchCon last night, so this will be a very heavily focused StitchCon Flosstube episode. It's episode number 45. If you haven't watched my channel in a bit, you may be wondering where Allison is. She got a promotion, so she cannot be in every video. But we are going to film our mid-year whip parade this week, so you will see her very soon. Okay, so let's dive in. The way today's going to work is it's going to be regular Flosstube. I was really hoping I could film this while I was in Cincinnati, but I just ended up like having too much fun, and so I spent more time at StitchCon on the last day than I thought I was going to, and I couldn't get any later checkout that I got, so I had to film it today, which means some time has elapsed, and I have just like straight up, I have forgotten a few things. That's okay. My voice is not fully recovered, but so today, the way today's gonna work, it's gonna be a normal Flosstube, except that I have a little bit of a StitchCon vlog I'm gonna stick in here at some point. As I'm going through my whips and new starts, things that were StitchCon stitching, I will mention almost everything actually was, because I got so sick the week before that I like with strep throat that I just really wasn't stitching. So almost all my stitching is StitchCon stitching. So you'll hear some StitchCon info during when I'm talking about stitching. And then when I get to Stitchy Kindness and haul, a lot of that is from StitchCon. So you'll know, if you, I'm going to try not to do any spoilers of any like thing that was specific to StitchCon that like people from Weekend B might want to be surprised by. Like I'm not going to show the retreat exclusive or any of the stuff that we actually got from the retreat, but like table gifts and stuff I'll show. So that will be during Kindness and haul. So it'll just kind of be like peppered throughout. I do have a few thoughts about StitchCon that I want to share at the end in terms of like what I would do differently. And I do have this week's extra is going to be retreat focused. So I'm going to do a video on like what my StitchCon budget was, like how much money I spent at StitchCon, but also like I'm a travel writer, so I'm used to writing about travel expenses on the internet and showing like my own. I don't do it all the time, but sometimes I'll put up a budget blog, like what like my family spent in Santa Fe, or like how we save money going to national parks. So I'm used to all that, so I figured it'd be kind of fun to take, and also for tax purposes, I thought it would be kind of fun to do like take my travel writer like perspective, like how I put together trip budgets for that, and show like how I would, what my advice would be to do that for a retreat. Because some expenses are like retreat specific, but some travel expenses are just like any trip has those expenses. So that would be kind of fun to merge the two, and as I'm doing it, tell you exactly what I actually spent at StitchCon to go to StitchCon. It's less than some people and probably more than others, and I'll talk about, why I made what decisions I made and stuff from the perspective of someone who, until very recently, traveled professionally like half the year. So I thought I don't know. I just thought that would be fun. Also, tax. I'm a travel writer. I need all of my travel to be business travel, so let's make it business travel. Okay, so that will come out hopefully Thursday. It might be Friday. This week is already messed up. Like this should have come out yesterday, and it's coming out Tuesday, so we'll see. Anyway, so this is a Flosstube that is like a very StitchCon heavy Flosstube, but not solely. So let's dive in. I do like to start by thanking people who mentioned our channel on their channels. First of all, it's just always nice to interact with people in that way. And then also, I know it is a way that people have found the channel. Like I know, so Tara Sullivan, Memphis Sarah E., who I just met at StitchCon, and Rose Cottage Creates all recommended the primitive needle interview that I did. And I know for a fact that some of you guys have come from those recommendations, because we saw like a tiny uptick in the last couple weeks. So I want to thank them for letting people know about that video and our channel. And then Artist Designs also recommended our channel, which is such a big deal to me because my life is personally enriched by having seen her Maryland State Fair videos, because then I entered the Oklahoma State Fair, and that has been really just so fun. Just adds that extra super fun layer to stitching. Also gives me some like deadlines to work towards when I kind of naturally would let projects elapse. So whenever she comments or on our channel in the past, I've always just gotten a little bit giddy, and for actually recommending our channel meant a lot. So thank you so much. And then Karen from KV8 Stitches is going to do a project because she saw the video where I said, like, here are 10 things I would not buy new for cross stitch, because I see them in thrift stores all the time, because I also run a thrifting channel. And she had actually had one of the items. I won't spoil it, but go check out her video. I'll link to it below. But I'm so excited that she's going to do one of those projects based on like getting inspiration from that video. I love Karen's channel. And then I normally like to congratulate people who are celebrating anniversaries. I was so out of it when I was sick. And then I've been around stitchy people, and I ran a D-stash, so I've been thinking about cross stitch. But I haven't been like engaging in it, so I didn't see anybody. But it's very possible that I missed somebody who was having an anniversary or celebrated a big milestone. And in which case, when I catch up this week, I'll put them in the next video. And then birthdays. I don't know if you guys know why I like to share who's having a birthday, but a lot of times people have birthday stitch-alongs. And it's a great time to go catch a new channel and then see if there's a project or something you want to start with them. So Handmade by Sarah W. Sarah, her birthday is at the beginning of July. My birthday is also in July, and she is hosting a birthday stitch along, and her birthday stitch along pieces are always gorgeous. And if you've never checked out her channel before, go check her out. All right, now I'm going to put in my StitchCon vlog. And then on the other side, we'll jump into stitching, okay? Good morning. It's Wednesday. StitchCon starts tomorrow. I drove up Tuesday to Kansas City because my son is going to stay with our other sister. And yeah, so hopefully stop at Color and Cotton at 11 in St. Louis and have, I want to pick up some stuff and also just have like a driving break. Then I have enough snacks and stuff. I'm going to try to avoid eating on the road, but if I need to take a break or whatever, I will. I'm going to need to get gas pretty soon because I didn't gas up last night. So yeah, let's go to StitchCon.
Continue on Dr. Martin. Safe with doors of perforated zinc. Smashed the windows of Regent Street. Railings collapsed.
Okay, I lost about 45 minutes. I mean, not like, my goal was to lose about 20 to 25 because I knew I was going to have to make a gas stop, but I got a little lost trying to find the gas station in rural Missouri. And so it's 11:45. What I decided was, one of the things that I wanted as my like StitchCon stash was to kit up 1 or 2 projects at Color and Cotton. So I'm definitely going to kit up Huckleberry Farm, and then Black and Sky, Huckleberry Farm is by the Blue Flower. Black and Sky and Huckleberry Farm are my 2 StitchCon starts. I did kit them up in DMC, but I think I want to kit them up in Color and Cotton. Huckleberry Farm is called for in a lot of weeks dye work, so that should be pretty easy to like pick different things. It has some DMC. I think I want to just do the whole thing in Color and Cotton, but we'll see when I get in. And then Black and Sky is called for in DMC, but I think it would be special to have like these 2 projects with like special floss from my trip. One of my rules for stash at StitchCon is going to be only things I'm going to use this year, and I'm going to start these 2 projects in the next 3 days. So that would definitely fit my rule, and it would fit my budget, and it would just be fun. So let's go see Color and Cotton. So ColorCon was so much fun. It did take me, so I was like, gave myself an hour and 15 minutes and I chit chatted and like looked around for like 15 minutes. And then it took me like a full hour to do the color converting from, even though I had like a list of like I wasn't pulling it from scratch. I was pulling it from like the pattern, but this is Huckleberry Farm. I think it's gonna be so pretty. I picked like 2 extra purples to see, cause like in my head, it's like more purpley than the pattern really is. So I pulled a couple extra like brighter purples so that I could play with it when I'm doing it, and they'll get used. So that was really fun. But that pattern has a lot of floss. So like most of my StitchCon haul budget is gone, but it's okay because I knew, like, I thought for a really long time about what kinds of things I wanted to get and what I wanted, and like doing these 2 patterns here I knew was going to mean more. This is my conversion for Black and Sky, and I had already pulled the DMC, and I think it's pretty, like, I think it's pretty close. So it was so much fun. My total was high, but it was I have set aside a budget for a haul for this. This is the first time I'm shopping this year other than like thrift stores and some like PDFs, so that was really fun. And it's so hot, and I got my steps in, walking back and forth along the wall, like going to the weeks, pulling the weeks, looking at the color and cotton, like, and they were so helpful. The 2 ladies in there were so helpful, and I met a couple people like when I first got there, and one had just been to the retreat at Amana, and she said it was so fun and it sounded so cool, so it got me even more excited than I already was. So okay, it is 1 o'clock. All I have to do for the rest of the day is get to my hotel. I will need to stop for gas and go to the bathroom at least once, maybe twice. Gas probably once, but I might need 2 rest stops. But I'm not gonna, like, I told myself this was my stop, and I just got a lot of steps in, so I should be good to drive for a long time.
In half a mile, keep right to stay on I-70 East. Follow signs for Indianapolis.
Less fun than singing to Spotify is Bumper to Bumper traffic. Google Maps didn't tell me this was about to come up, so I don't know any idea what's going on. Still traffic, but it's just a lane closure, so I feel better.
The schools were divided into classes for infants and those for grown children, far superior than that offered.
We just crossed into Ohio. We're about 30 minutes, I think, 30 minutes away. I got checked in. I already met 2 stitchers downstairs, and I don't know if I explained this, but I'm staying at this hotel tonight, but then I'm moving to a different hotel tomorrow because I booked that one on points. But the extra night at that hotel just seemed like crazy price compared to the other one, so I'm switching hotels. A little annoying, but it's not a big deal. So I did bring all my stuff in, but I'm not gonna like really get cozy or unpack or anything too much. But what I do have to do is my StitchCon gifts, table gifts, are like, I packed all the things, but I need to assemble them and I need to iron the fabric that goes in them. So I have a little bit of work to do. It's like 9 o'clock, so I have a little bit of work to do tonight. It'd be really great if I could be done by like 10:30, do a little stitching and go to sleep. I'm tired. Also, my phone's about to die, so I'm not gonna see you guys again until tomorrow. So it's 7:55. It's a little later than I wanted it to be, but I'm gonna head over to the convention center. I realized this morning my bangs were too long and I trimmed them, which was a little high risk, high reward, but I think they came out okay. I didn't go to sleep till like 2:30 because I had some organizational stuff I had to do, and then I had some budget stuff and work stuff. Like, I was just on my computer after I organized the bag. So I'm very tired, but I'm thinking if I can power through and have just a really fun long day today, I can sleep a little later tomorrow. And I'm not gonna stay out late tonight. I will go to bed early. It's so early. I'm so tired. I also like lost an hour. I'm way too tired to be here. What is it?
This is blue Moroccan lace in purple.
It's good. It's really good.
Well, no,
There's no tag for who stitched it.
I know.
Have you ever seen it not in blue?
No. I mean, I know people do stitch them in other colors, but this is amazing.
It's really pretty.
Where's the tag?
That is it. The famous
And then on the third arch, there's two more larger ones to go underneath.
Oh, okay.
So
Thank you.
Ooh, holy.
then the roommate wanted to move out their apartment.
It's like a very similar style. Yeah.
Oh wow, I've seen so many people stitching this, but until you, Allie, look at this. Look at all the texture in that.
Oh, I know, they're amazing.
Okay, day one is done for me. It's not done for everyone else, but day one is done for me. I'm so tired. I just checked into my new hotel because I was only staying, I was like, the way I booked, anyway, I needed a different hotel for the first night. So I switched hotels. I'm tired, I'm sweaty. It's like 9 o'clock, but like, I know a lot of people are gonna stay up because like the room stays open until 10 and the late room is open up until 2. And I really want to do that kind of stuff, but not tonight. Tonight I need to be like asleep with it, and I have to apply for my daughter's preschool tonight. Like, not super fun. And then I need to sleep. And then tomorrow I can be like normal. Today was so much fun. I met a lot of really cool people. I like the people at my table. I went to lunch with Allie and Andrew. It was absolutely wonderful. And tomorrow when I'm not so tired, it will be even more wonderful. And everyone's been so nice, and the trunk shows look amazing. And just like, so far other than me being so tired I want to die, everything else has been perfection. But me being this tired is like really cramped my style a little bit. But tomorrow hopefully it will be, I'm gonna catch up on my sleep tonight, and tomorrow I'm just gonna knock it out of the park. Okay. Also, I'm so sweaty. All right. See you guys tomorrow. I'm in my hotel. I just got ready. I'm getting a little bit of a late start. I decided to like sleep in till 8:45 and really like feel rested. The nice thing is that like I only have a social battery that will go so many hours, and because there's stitching rooms open from 8 a.m. till 2 a.m. I will get the same amount of stitching hours in, whether I get in mornings, like an early start, or a little bit later start. So it's like 9:40, so I'm gonna hopefully be at my table at 10 because it's like a 2-minute drive. And then I will stay out as long as I can stay out. But yeah, I don't have the capacity to like be on or with people like for 18 hours in a row. So I definitely I'm glad that I was able to take the time this morning and sleep. I was talking to my mom last night. Okay, my arm is tired. I was talking to my mom last night about how like I've never been to anything actually. Like I've never been to an organized thing that didn't have like morning keynotes, so either wasn't like career building or for a job. Like even when I go to like travel conferences, they're just as fun because I'm like also meeting up with friends and stuff, and like usually in like really interesting places, but like you have a schedule and you're just tired. And so it's kind of nice to be like, okay, I'm gonna sleep a little bit later and I'm not gonna miss anything that I can't make up later in the day because I need to sleep. And so I feel so much better. I feel so much better having gotten some rest, and I can be a little more on today. I was really dragging ass by the end of yesterday. Okay, so let's go to StitchCon day 2. I just locked my hotel key in my room, which is fine. I'll be able to get a new one. I have my ID, but like, come on.
of doing nothing with his life, but they want to set him up.
I have bumped into so many people. Fourth wing.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy your.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, the little tomato man.
Too late last year to get my tomato. I thought I'm going to go over first thing.
No, I really.
So many cool finishing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just lets me know which of these to use.
Sure. No, that's cool. Saw this model and I was like, I have to stitch that.
It's amazing. There's something about it too. Like,
It's not. Because this has been cut.
Wow, a yard of fabric is a lot.
2/8 now.
you know. Now that you're doing that, I realize I can't stitch, and I've like forgotten how you stitch stitches. I survived day 2. Anxiety wise, like gone, felt really comfortable, like was less awkward. Also, other people were joking that they are awkward, so it was like really nice, because it's like, you know, stitchers are my people, so it was nice that, like, okay, I've been telling myself that stitchers are my people for 2 years, but other than my sister, it's not like I like hang out with stitchers, so it was so nice to like be hanging out with stitchers and be like, oh yeah, they are my people. And you know, I probably talked to 25 people today that were all like individually amazing people that I've been wanting to connect with, and it was so great. I won't like name any now because I'm like so tired and I don't want to forget anyone or anything, but it was the best. I got a little bit of footage at the end and then kind of like fell off. I didn't get any. I did go to the late night stitching room, didn't like take any videos of it or anything, because I was only there for like 20-25 minutes to chat. I didn't like sit down and stitch or anything. I just wanted to like, I don't know, I just wasn't ready to like stop socializing, but I didn't need to stitch anymore. I didn't stitch. I probably stitched 200 stitches today, like, so I did other important stitchy related things, but I'm exhausted. My makeup is, at like a certain point I took my lipstick off because I just looked tired. My eye makeup's sliding off my, like, I am tired. I'm sweaty. I'm the sweatiest person that's ever existed, it feels like. I'm so sweaty that like my bangs got too sweaty this morning and then just like never like came back. And I'm tired. Holding my arm up isn't really working. Okay, so I have a little bit of stuff I gotta do tonight. Then I'm gonna go to bed. Then I'm gonna get up and do it all over again. It has been so fun. Like, I really thought on the way up here, like, this was so much work to make happen. Am I really gonna wanna go back, or is this gonna be like something that's like, oh, once in a lifetime, like do it? But like, am I really gonna drive to Ohio, get childcare for 2 kids, figure all that stuff out, not work for a week, like all that? And yeah, I think I am gonna try to do it again next year. It was really fun. And with a year to prepare, because I had a year to prepare last year. Well, I signed up in September, so I had like 9 months to prepare, 10 months. But I didn't know like what to prepare or whatever. And now I have a better idea of like, okay. you know, everyone at my table has been so wonderful. After like a second day of being at a table, even the people that I didn't know coming in, I'm really like excited to see tomorrow. You like do kind of bond in like a weird, fun way that's like, it's just, you know, it's just like, I don't know, it's weird. Everything people said about retreats is true, which sometimes you feel like you experience the world different than other people. So you're like, is that gonna be true for me? And it's like, oh, it's all true. A million people come up and ask where Allison is or if she'll come in the future. And so I can't wait to go back and tell her, like, and people have given me gifts to give her and stuff. So I can't wait to tell her how much she was missed. But it's been really, really, really fun. And I'm exhausted, but I'm excited to do it again tomorrow.
We've had a rainy weekend for like...
Good morning. It's Saturday, June 14th. It's 9 now. I've been up since 5:30. I woke up early. Like I wake up in the middle of the night a lot, but then I realized it was Saturday, June 14th, and I just started doom scrolling, and then I couldn't like go back to sleep. But even though I've been awake though this whole time, I'm still gonna get there an hour after it opens, because like, why move fast when you don't have to? So I'm heading over to StitchCon now. Some lessons I learned after yesterday. I didn't have enough snacks with me. I had like taken all my snacks back to the hotel room and then forgot to bring like an adequate number of snacks. So I'm bringing tortilla chips and Oreos, because that's what I have in my grocery bag. But like after lunch, I got really hungry around dinner time, but we didn't end up, like, I didn't organize going to dinner, but then I ended up staying out in the late night stitching room longer than I didn't think I would go at all, and then I stayed for like 30 minutes. So I didn't eat dinner until like 11. So I'm bringing more snacks, because if that happens again, it will be nice to just fill up on tortilla chips in between. I have barely stitched since being here. I don't expect that to change, but I do have 3 starts I want to do. So if I could put 100 stitches in 3 starts, I would call that a successful day. We'll see what happens. Also, I've been like finally starting asking people to take pictures, because I like want to have pictures of people to remember them. And then I'm looking at the pictures and I'm like, oh my God, you are so tired. You look so crazy. So today I want to, if I see someone I want a picture with, I want to ask them to do it in the morning before, but also I'm already tired. This is the most fun experience ever, but it a little bit feels like camp where you're like never rested. So, and at 40, that's a different feeling than at like 8. But anyway, having so much fun. Let's go to StitchCon.
And I finished it in like...
One. Bueller. Bueller. I have 650. 700 from PJ. 8. Wow.
Are you going to interview me about how I feel about my amazing whip? How do you feel?
She's on Flosstube as Lady
Amazing.
Huzzah.
No, I'm sorry.
Lady Huzzah.
Oh, I love her.
And that's why I don't have a husband, so I don't have any secrets to keep.
If I have to get up earlier to try for that one, I will.
Fold it in half length. And then we could just cut here. What do you think? Yeah, these scissors blow. One at a time. Oh, yeah. Let me move my thumb out of the way. Yeah.
Oh God.
Cut your nail. Cut my nail. Okay.
Hold it up like a fish. It's 2:45 in the morning because I went to the late night stitching room and I was having too much fun with my friends, and I like basically never want to, like, I don't know, I just was having too much fun and I didn't want to leave. I wasn't even stitching really. I think I did like 100 stitches tonight, but I was having fun, and then it was like all of a sudden the stitching room was closing. It was like, how did that happen? And now it's 2:45. So that happens. I'm supposed to go back in the morning. I am gonna go because I still, anyway, mistakes were made.
Hello everyone, we are live at StitchCon 2025, Sunday morning, the final start for Stephanie, aka Cross Stitch the Globe, aka
The channel you're currently watching.
aka one of my stitchy besties.
I've been demoted. You're like, you...
She's been demoted. Anyway, she will be starting. What will you be starting, Steph?
Huckleberry Farm by the Blue Flower. Oh my god, I look so tired.
We had a lot of fun this weekend.
I've never looked more tired than I do right now.
We had a lot of fun this weekend.
It was the best. It was the best.
Okay.
I want to put 10 stitches into Huckleberry Farm. So
Okay, wait a minute. We got to flip back around so you can see her starting.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready? So
Alrighty, and here we are.
Do a color and cotton conversion. I think it's stunning. I'm a little concerned about the yellow that I'm starting with was the wrong choice, but other than that, I really like it.
Beautiful. And wait, tell us more about your fabric choice here.
This is Helix by Pictureless Plus. It is a 32 count. I picked it because I already owned it, and I'm not buying fabric right now.
Amazing.
It was actually a gift from Katie, the Peacock Stitcher, who is wonderful.
Oh, sweet. We love a reduce, reuse, recycle queen.
Yes, we do.
And look at that beautiful conversion right there.
I have 3 stitches.
Ooh, look how gorgeous that is. Ooh, we're loving it.
All right, it is. I'm gonna keep going, but it is
All
officially
right,
started. And again,
official start.
The color that I think is maybe the worst choice for this conversion is the one that I had to start with, but it's fine. It's fine. We're bugged.
Actually, really good. Yeah. Like I would not have bought this if it was not good. Like it's actually good.
Last StitchCon start is done. These are my last StitchCon stitches. I'm out. There's like 5 mistakes in it already, but it's fine. It's fine. First of all, I left and realized I look absolutely just like insane, but whatever. So it is noon. I did not leave. I was gonna leave at 10. I just kept having fun and seeing people I didn't want to leave. So I didn't leave till like noon. So I have about 20 minutes to pack up all my stuff and go. I think I'm gonna take like a 5-minute shower because I feel disgusting. I was hoping I was gonna film my recap today, just like while I was here, so I wouldn't have to remember stuff and unpack stuff later correctly. But I don't have time. I gotta go. I have a 9-hour. It's 12. I have a 9-hour drive to Kansas City. I'll get an hour back, but I'm also exhausted, so I'll probably need to stop and take a nap. I had the best time, and Hillary from Subpar Stitches wants me to tell you guys that she's hilarious and funny and owns a totally normal amount of stuffed animals and bugs. All right, my mom is calling. I will see you guys back at home. So, I packed up the car, and I was feeling really overwhelmingly tired, so I decided to close my eyes for like 15 minutes, and it's 30 minutes later. It's 12:45, so I have to go now. But the 30-minute nap really was a very good idea because I feel so much better. I mean, I don't feel like great, but I feel so much better. Okay, I'm gonna hit the road.
But I also did not eat around him. I'm a friend. I'm a woman of one. Whoa, first of all.
That's what? Like, she's definitely sort of running the show. I mean, everything. Shamia, let's be, I mean, Shamia didn't even have her bag.
Okay, it's 11:45. I'm done driving today, so we'll call that the end of the StitchCon trip. I got to my sister's house. My son's here. For a 5-year-old, I think he did really well. He did not care that I was not here at all. So tomorrow I'm gonna hang out with him. We're gonna drive back to Oklahoma City, but we're gonna stop and do a couple things on the way. So I won't film that. But it was a really long day, but it was fun. I'm glad I went, and I'm glad I did as much of StitchCon today as I could have and didn't just skip it because I was tired and had other stuff I had to do in a long drive. Like, it was a long day, but I'm glad that I did all of it. Okay, so I will see you when I get home and film a little wrap up to go with this vlog. Maybe a little floss too. We'll see. That was that was StitchCon from my point of view of my cell phone, I guess. Okay. All right, now let's get into stitching. I had put up a poll before I left asking if I should start Black Sky or Huckleberry Farm at StitchCon. Spoiler alert, I started both. Now, I only did 1,100 stitches at StitchCon, and I did not stitch the 2 days prior, and I have not stitched in the 2 days since because I was so sick, and then I had to run a D-stash and pack and get the kids ready, and then I was on the road for 2 days because I drove to Kansas City to drop my son off so that he could stay with my sister, and that was like not necessary for the trip. It just was like they both could have stayed up with my mom, but it was just going to be so much more fun for him to be with my sister, so that's what we did. So I had, 2 travel days both ways to make that happen. I'm so glad I did, but it just was like non-stitchy time. So I've only stitched like 1,600 stitches since I saw you last, and only 1,100 of them were actually at StitchCon. I do think when I go back next year, if I get in, that I will try to stitch more, but I don't regret all the time that I spent just talking with people because it was really fun. Okay, so let's start with Black Sky because that is the piece that I got the most stitches on. When you see it and you're going to say, that's the piece you got the most stitches on, that's kind of the vibe for today. So this is Black Sky by the Primitive Needle. This pattern was a gift from Mariah, and so I really felt like I wanted to honor the fact that it was a gift from her and go ahead and get it started. I absolutely love it. I'm obviously just in the top border, 190 stitches in the top border. Not super exciting, but I love that I started. This is 32 count vintage pear from Lakeside Linen. This is the called for linen color, which I knew that Black Sky was green. Intellectually, I'd heard that and I'd seen that, but it still like doesn't look green in the model to me. So it was still like a surprise that my favorite piece of green linen that I had in my stash that I was saving for something special was the called for this. So that just worked out perfectly. Now it's called for on 40 count and I'm doing it on 32. So my colors are going to be a little bit bolder and it's obviously going to be bigger, but it will fit comfortably on this fat quarter. And I decided, which you saw in the vlog, that I stopped and did a little color and cotton conversion. I don't remember if I mentioned what I was doing the conversions for, but one of them was for this piece. So this is my color and cotton conversion. It's a pretty faithful conversion to the DMCs because Black Sky is charted in a line of floss that is no longer available and also has a good DMC threadless. And so I really was just Googling the DMCs and pulling a pretty faithful conversion. I mean, it just makes it a little bit extra special. They're beautiful. They're mostly like slightly tonally variegated. None of them are like crazy variegated, but you've got like some like pretty tonal variegation in some of them. Just adds a little bit of movement. Now, I made a mistake when I was kitting this up and I didn't process in my head. Let me go to I was in markup and I had the floss list up, but I didn't process that I was looking on the floss list for a page and not for the full chart. And so when you pull the floss list for the full chart, you realize that there are 2 colors that need multiple skeins. So the color I chose for black, I actually chose a color for black that's not like super black. It's Color and Cotton Featherweight, which I think is looking so good so far. But there are 8,000 stitches of this in this chart. So I need to order 4 more skeins. It's fine. And then the color that I picked for 936, let's see, is Laurel Wreath. There are 4,000 stitches of Laurel Wreath in this. So I need to do the math again because I can't remember. I think you can get about 1,500 stitches on a 32 count out of a skein, and these are 8-yard skeins. But I need to just do a little bit of math, and then I will need to put in an order before too long just so it doesn't become the next die lot. Although I don't think it would make that big of a difference. You never know. So I will at some point, if I get to the point where I'm sure that I like this conversion, I'll publicize it, but I'm not really ready to do that yet. And I am stitching this project. Well, I have 2 hoops in this bag because I have 2 projects in this bag, and I was kind of like, whatever, but I've been switching back and forth between this Hold Tight spring hoop and this princess hoop. This princess hoop actually probably is my favorite hoop that I own. I love it, especially like the color of the wood. And I really enjoy how uncomfortable it makes some stitchers to see how loose I keep my fabric in my hoops, but you can get them. You can get vintage hoops really tight. I just actually kind of leave it a little loose. And then I watch people's faces in horror. It was fun. You know who you are. So I moved my primitive needle projects to my Golden Familiars stitching go case because it had a really beautiful Mirabilia in here, but it's not a whip that I pull out all the time, and I really want to have this stitch and go case like out more. So I'm gonna use it to host both of my current primitive needle whips, and then I also have my kit for Hornbook Angel in here. Like it's like 4 skeins of black coffee and then an orange, but I think the orange, I can use this Color and Cotton orange, so I haven't picked a different orange. But anyway, so because I know I'm going to start that too. So anyway, I know that's the kind of silly little detail that most people aren't here for, but I like that kind of stuff, so I'm just going to keep saying it. So it's going to live in this Mermaid Stitch and Go case. And yeah, absolutely love it. So that border was a very easy project to start at StitchCon. I did a top center start. There is one place in the top border where there's 3 and not 2 stitches, but I went the other direction. So I haven't gotten to that part yet, but it wouldn't have been an issue, I don't think. Okay, my next StitchCon start lives in this Sheba Designs little portfolio that Allie, who is Allie Z is Crafty on YouTube, I promised she's gonna do a video this month, which we are so excited about. So it lives in here because this was my table start. And because it was my table, well, not because it was my table start, but I told Allie I would do a start with her. We had it as a table, decided we were definitely going to do a start together. Sorry, I'm like fidgeting with the floss, so it doesn't get stuck in the zipper. Anyway, we had not decided as a table that we were 100% going to do a start together, but I told Allie I would do a start with her and she could just pick it out. And then she could pick it out and I would just go to the annex and buy it once she told me what it was. So she came back from the annex and said, I picked out 2 things. We can do either or. And I said, okay, or we could do both. And she said, you're going to hate them. And I was like, okay. And so I was thinking like something like real crazy and subversive. And, but also she had kitted them up. So she bought like different options of fabric and floss for us both to decide what we wanted to do. And then she like got everybody at our table to decide to do it. So this became, we were table 2, this became our table start. So our table start was a French rose. And I don't 100% know if the full title is a French rose Marie Vallet or if it's just a French rose. This is a reproduction sampler from Running with Needles and Scissors. So totally the opposite vibe is when she said you weren't going to like it. Like, this is wonderful. The model was in the annex. It was so beautiful. Now, the model is stitched on 46 count, so it was pretty small. And we inverted our colors. So Allie decided to do a bold fabric and a lighter floss. And so everyone at our table ended up doing the same thing. But we all started it on either, like people started on different counts. And Andrew, the runner stitcher, sat at our table with us, which was so fun. And I just saw his video from today. He didn't do a full StitchCon recap, but he did show his, because he's going to do it later, but he did show his table start for this. So this is the piece where we're like, you know, let's try to get it done by next year. I don't have a huge start on it. But anyway, that's why it lives in this bag that was a gift from Allie, because this is my table start, and also the entire kit was a gift from Allie. And it also hosts another piece that I'm not going to show you guys today, but it's so beautiful. I've wanted a bag or a case from Sheba Designs, but right when I found out about her, I had kind of already filled up on project bags and needed to not buy more project bags. So I'm like so excited to have one. It is so well made. I can like wholeheartedly say, yes, this was a gift from a friend, but amazing quality. It absolutely can recommend like the bags. It's so good. I don't know. I know this fabric is out of print. And so I don't know if she has any more for this fabric, but if you are looking for a project bag in this fabric, I have one that's going to go up on the D-stash that I'll talk about later. So anyway, it lives in this beautiful bag. And so Allie had different fabrics, and I decided to do mine on 28 count Joylyn by Atomic Ranch. And here's my start. This fabric is so easy to stitch on. Like, I'm glad I went with the 28 because I've had no problem seeing it, even though it's so dark. And it does fit on a fat 1/8, I believe, on 28. It's not the biggest chart in the world. It is 158 by 124. Now the called for is 46 small potatoes by Lap and Loops. But obviously we inverted our colors. But Allie and a bunch of people are doing theirs on Curtain Call by Lap and Loops, which also looks amazing. And then people pick different counts. So Sarah, who's sitting at my table, was doing hers on, I want to say 36, but it might have been 40. But she did a good job of actually stitching at StitchCon, and she got really far. Deborah, so Sarah, Deborah, Julie, and Liz, who are at our table, don't have floss tubes, but 3 of them do have Instagram accounts, so I will link their Instagrams below. Julie, I don't believe does, but if she does have one or does get one, I will let you guys know. But anyway, so Sarah did hers and was really like going real fast. Deborah, I think, did hers on 36 or 40 count. Then Julie and Liz wanted to do theirs on Ada. Julie did hers on a beautiful purple Ada, and Liz did hers on this bright orange Ada. So theirs are going to be like such a different feel than the model, but still I can't wait to see them. Like, they're going to be amazing. And then Allie did, and then Andrew and Allie both did theirs tone on tone on 40 count. So like there are places where I don't even know how Allie could see hers. I can't wait to you guys see her video and she shows it. So I chose for the kit, I chose Cotton Candy from Classic Colorworks Belle Soie. I've stitched with a lot of silk. I've never stitched with Belle Soie. And Allie had picked a bunch of different choices for us to pick from. Part of why I picked this was that Andrew and Allie helped me, some of the ones that were like whiter. So I was hoping it would show up a little pink. It really doesn't show up pink at all. But because it's not so white, it gives no Christmas vibes whatsoever. At least so far, and I don't think it will give Christmas vibes when it's completely done. So I am absolutely loving this. I'm hoping 2 skeins is enough. I think it will be, but I need to scan the pattern and put it in markup and see how many stitches are actually in it. It's a little misleading because it's not that big, but then the model I saw was on smaller fabric. So, and there's all these like cute little options and stuff. Okay, and then the other StitchCon start that lives in here is the one I'm not going to show you, which was sorry, on a French rose I did 88 stitches. Like I couldn't settle into anything. It was totally fine. I got it started. I did 88 stitches, and then the other start that lives in here is the StitchCon exclusive retreat piece, which I am not going to show this week. I will show it in our whip parade and then forever whenever I work on it. But I just let the people who are going to StitchCon, we can not be spoiled if they don't want to be. So anyway, but that piece I did 76 stitches on, and that is in here too. And I am doing mine on a fabric that is not like the called for at all. And I'm really excited about it. Okay. But I did buy the floss pack. So I bought the pattern, I bought the floss pack, but I'm using my own, not my own. I'm using a piece of fabric that I'm buying from Allie's D-Stash. And I'll talk more about that later. These starts aren't really in order anyway, but I'll just show the other thing I started with Allie. So Allie Z, Sarah, who has an Instagram and was at our table but doesn't have a floss tube. We spent like the whole weekend trying to convince Deborah and Sarah to do a floss tube because they're from Alaska and they're mom and daughter, and they were so lovely, and they're like such serious quilters and sewists. Like wait till you see the table gift that Deborah made. Like, so but I don't think it's gonna happen. But anyway, Sarah start and Allie. So Allie, this was the other piece that Allie Z had kitted up for me to pick from for our table start. And then I was like, well, let's just do both. And then she ended up giving me kits for both. Like when I said let's do both, I didn't know that she was going to kit them up. So like it wasn't like a oh yeah, buy me 2 kits situation. It wasn't. She just happened to buy both. I was like, well, what are we going to start? And she pulled out the kits for both. Anyway, Sarah had also liked the piece and decided to buy it. And so we all started it together, and it is vintage Centerpiece from Petal Fisher. I will show you the pattern. This was a market release this year. This was like this and Velvet to Linen or whatever were the 2 market releases this year that I actually really, really wanted, but I was being very good and not letting myself buy anything because I was in a no buy until StitchCon. And my no buy is back on. But I told myself I could buy stuff at StitchCon, but I still wasn't going to like buy something I wasn't going to start or do. So I saw the model. I fell in love with the model even more than seeing it in the like StitchCon, the market stuff, the market videos and previews and stuff. I absolutely loved it, but I was not planning on buying it or starting it. And so when Allie gave it to me, I think I screamed really loudly. So here's my start. The called for, I want to say, is 18 count Aida pistachio fiber on a whim. This is the called for. But it's 32 count linen instead of 18 count Aida. So mine will be a little bit bigger. This fabric is a dream to stitch on. Oh, wait. Yeah, my start's like this. Okay. This fabric is a dream to stitch on. Now, did I stitch very much of it? No, I stitched 80 stitches. But I just couldn't settle in. And it was nice kind of just getting things started and feeling like, okay, I'd accomplished, a lot of the work, or like, setting everything up and whatever. I cut a lot of fabric this weekend. So I absolutely loved stitching on it. I can't wait to get back to it. Allie kitted it up with the call for DMCs. I'm going to organize them and keep them in the kit with it instead of putting them in my master set, because I also would like to get this done before StitchCon next year, or like so that I can finish it at StitchCon next year. But anyway, so I want to have this out as like a ongoing piece. So I think I'm just gonna put the floss on floss drops and keep it out, because as I'm creating my master set, it's not perfect and some floss colors are not accessible on it yet. And then I had this, I didn't have it like in a project bag there, I just had it all in this plastic bag, but now that I'm home, I'm moving it into this project bag that was a gift. It's floral and I just thought it kind of went with it nicely, and it didn't have anything. Now it does. So the only bad thing about this process is now I want to work on all these, but I already had other like assignments and stuff for the month. So not assignments, but goals. So I went through my spreadsheet of things I was supposed to do this month, and I deleted a bunch of stuff, and I added all of my StitchCon starts to try to get them to at least 500 stitches this month, just so I get to touch all of them, because since I have less than 100 stitches in most of them, that will mean like a nice night of touching them before putting them away for a while. But anyway, I liked this fabric so much, part of me really wants to buy a piece and restart my Stitch for Pride on it, because I'm not loving my Stitch for Pride fabric. I think I don't want to be like too hasty. I think I'm going to give myself, like, I'm not going to order something tomorrow. So I am trying to be on a no buy, but if something pops up where I have like an easy out in my brain as to like justification for why I need to buy a piece of pistachio. I did see 123 Stitch. I checked this morning to see if they even had it. I might go ahead and buy it for myself to restart Stitch for Pride on. It will be annoying to stitch the one motif I finished already on there, but that's okay. I'll just keep the one I finished and turn it into like a pillow or a small or something. But I would like the full sampler. I just really don't enjoy my fabric, and I think my fabric is muddying the beautiful flosses a little bit, and the floss palette is very similar to that palette. And I think the fact that those colors sing on pistachio means that the floss pack that I have will sing on pistachio. So I think I am convincing myself that I need to do it. It's just going to be a matter of like, when do I do it? Okay. My last start for the weekend was Huckleberry Farm. Now, Marissa from Imkissa Creations wasn't at StitchCon, but she did say she wanted to start it with me. So we both started it. I don't know where she started it though. I haven't seen her. I watched her Flosstube at StitchCon, but it was the one that came out right before we started. So I did a left center start, because on this piece of fabric there's going to be like a nice chunk left over, but I didn't want to deal with cutting it. This is Helix by Picture This Plus. This is 32 count. The call for is shale, which is more a browny, purpley brown, and this is like a bluey gray. So I think mine is going to look very punchy and poppy compared to the call for. Now, there were two fully finished versions of Huckleberry Farm on the brag table, one by Sarah Stitchery and one by AlleyCat13. I'll tag her Instagram account. And so I got to ogle both of them, and I did have Sarah. I consulted many people on my color and cotton conversion on this particular fabric. Here's the full pattern. I just love it so much. But I consulted many people on this. Okay, I bought the conversion, and then before I started, I checked with many people, because since there was a whole, keepsakes LNS and the annex, if I needed to buy a different fabric, if this was just not going to work, I wanted to hear if anybody was like, no, you absolutely need different fabric. But I think mine is going to be very poppy, brighter and punchier, which I like. The one color I was worried about is this baby chick, but it's the yellow and the flowers that almost look white, and it ghosts a little on camera, but in person it doesn't ghost at all. Like, in person it's fine. So I like what I have so far. There are two major errors in the first flower that I did, so I have to count off of the stem, but if I do that I will be totally fine. But there are so many errors in the first little flower. I mean, I'm off half a stitch within the first 10 stitches. I got off half a stitch somehow, but it's totally fine. I don't want to take out the StitchCon stitches that I did, and by the time So Allie was like, well, you could just take them out and keep going, and then theirs would be StitchCon stitches. I'm like, well, yeah, but like, that's not my style. I just want to keep on keeping on. So I was stitching that with a 4.5 by 9 inch hoop. It's actually, I don't know, I think I'm going to switch hoops for this one. But yeah, also I need to scan this pattern and see if I don't think I'm gonna need any extra. I bought the one color that was black here. Well, it's not black. It's there was one color that I'm using instead of their like black gray, and it's a little bit lighter, but I did go ahead and get 2 skeins of it. There was one color of weeks where the DMC conversion was the same, but I picked different things, I think, because I did this conversion by picking up the Weeks dye works and walking it to the floss wall and picking things out. Except where the color was, there are some colors of DMC. Those I Googled, but the Weeks I literally picked it out. But still, like, Color and Cotton is a little bit punchier and brighter than Weeks anyway, even when you're talking about like basically the same color. So I think it's going to be brighter anyway. And then because I'm doing it on this like light cool toned gray as opposed to this like warm brown, it's just going to be different. But I like what I have. And I did Sarah Stitchery to look it over, and I don't trust anyone's judgment more than hers when it comes to this kind of stuff. There were other people that I asked, but like I really was like, you've already stitched this pattern. You are the queen of like all of stitching. So like when she was like, yeah, I think it's gonna work, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna trust it. I'm excited about it. And this project bag was also a gift. But I just like the purple paisley. Okay, so those were my 5 StitchCon starts. I only did 92 stitches on Huckleberry Farm, but it does take extra time and stuff to start it. That's the kind of stuff I don't love doing at home anyway. So it was actually kind of nice to like be able to thoughtfully sit down and start things and chat about whips. Okay, the majority of what I've stitched on since you guys saw it last is this, but it's not done and it should have been done. This is Christmas Bear Ornament from Stacey Nash Designs. This was in the, I think it was in the it was in one of the Jingle Ball Bobble books. I don't remember which one. I think this year. I don't think it's released. So I did 581 stitches, but as you can see, I still have a ton of fill in. And like, I should have finished this before I left for StitchCon. And then I really should have finished this at StitchCon, but it was funny. It was like, it's kind of boring fill in, right? And I just couldn't bring myself to settle on it. But also I was too like interested in talking and stuff to want to focus on non-boring projects. So like I took this to like the late night stitching room twice, and I think I did like 20 stitches on it one of the 2 nights. Like I couldn't settle into it. But I have my Stitch With Me so the membership has once a month has like a separate video that's a Stitch With Me that's on YouTube, and I'm filming that Friday, and then Sunday is our Stitch Together Zoom for members. So I have 2 hours of like stitching this weekend where I think having this for fill-in will be perfect. So this will be done very soon. Now I did say I don't love the fabric I'm doing it. As I'm filling it in, I've tried to do it at this project, these ornaments at Stash Busters, and this is like the closest, this is like what I had, but I don't love it. So I'm gonna finish it, but then when it's done, Allie gave me an offcut of the Joy Lynn that I'm doing my French Rose on, and that's like not comfortably wide enough, but is wide enough to do it on. So I'm gonna restitch this again on linen but maybe next year. Like, but I'm gonna save the pattern, and because I do want it on linen, but I'm gonna finish this because it'd be ridiculous not to finish this. But I think I'm not gonna turn this into an ornament. I think I might turn this into a pillow, and then stitch it again on linen, maybe as part of my whip go next year, to be an ornament. Anyway, it is crazy that this is not done. But okay, so that is. Oh, and I just put it in a different bag to go to StitchCon with. It really lives in my Christmas bag, but I didn't want to take that whole thing because that bag is like, has lots of projects in it. It's very big. Okay, so the next thing I worked on, I did 310 stitches since you saw it last. This is Annie Hyssop's Harvest Moon by the Primitive Needle. I'm stitching this on, this is on 16 count Ada that I dyed myself. This is on 32 count Lakeside Linen in the color Vintage Porcelain. And I did a DMC conversion myself. In the StitchCon, I did not like the conversion. Under the fluorescent lights, I was like, did I make a huge mistake? Then I got it back into my house and I liked it again. But the yellows under the like fluorescent lights did not play well. But I think they work well in person. And this is a kind of a fussy conversion because I have converted a lot of the DMC into 2 or 3 colors to make it look like there's some variegation. Since you saw it last, I finished the letters and over here, and then I came over and started the grass and did a little more of this bottom border. But I couldn't settle into it. I really enjoyed stitching that, but I couldn't settle into it. Part of it was that I really did not enjoy looking at my conversion under the fluorescent lights. But like here, I'm like, oh no, I like it again. But there, it was like the yellow was giving me a migraine. So anyway, I would suggest if your house has fluorescent lights, don't use the yellow that I picked. But just under normal house lights, it's fine. But I love it. I really want to get this finished and put this in the State Fair this year. I don't know if I'm going to have the discipline to do it, but I really would like to do that. And it is, I moved it since you saw it last. It now lives in my Golden Familiars bag where I'm just going to keep all of my Primitive Needle projects for the time being. Now, the last thing I stitched on is Moonface Bell Pull by Tiny Modernist. I am doing this as a full moon sal with Jin's Fiber Web, Amy from Amy Loves Toads, and Megan the White-Eyed Stitcher. But Megan already had hers as a whip and used the sal as a reason to like force herself to pull it out, and she finished it and it looks so good. I do have to do another like 500 stitches on it this month to get my monthly stitches in, because I need to do 640 stitches a month. I just like, I couldn't, like, this border was actually a very easy border to stitch while there, but I just never, my brain didn't want to stitch easy things, but it didn't want to stitch hard things. I didn't get much stitching on this. I am going to get caught up because I don't want to be behind going into next month. I'm converting all of the white confetti stitches to beads, and then Allie found a pack of white beads. Allie found a pack of white beads that are like the longer ones. I'll show you guys in a haul that I think actually will also, for the stars that have like, that are longer, I think those will look beautiful. So I think I actually might have used 2 kinds of beads on those. But my fabric is 28 count Enchanted? It's from Oak Count Studios. I've been stitching them out with this little 4-inch Duchess hoop, which I love. And okay, so that is my stitching. And then if you add in about the 100 stitches that I did on Frizzy Lizzie's Pass Around project, which was 324 by Works by ABC. She's having people just like pick a floss and do 2 motifs, and it's looking so cute. So if you add in the stitches that I did on that, I stitched 1,100 stitches at StitchCon. Yeah. So like, and if you add in all the days I miss stitching to prep and stuff, it's like, you know, 100 stitches a day. But I had the best time ever. And I'm so glad that I went. I met so many people that I talked to like fairly regularly, or like interact with fairly regularly. I've done like Zooms with, or like specifically met up with them at like Jingle Ball and Midsummer and stuff. Like there were so many people that like I interact with like on purpose, but it's all online, so it doesn't feel as real. And seeing them in person and like going to lunch or hanging out and just laughing and telling jokes and trauma bonding, it's just like made it very different. So I had the best time, and I don't regret that I didn't stitch that much. I do think next, if I get to go back, and I'm like, I'm going to try to, I met Jim from Stitch and Jim, who is local to me, and she was like, you got to come to our local stitching day. So there's a stitching day at a LNS called Prairie Moon Primitives, but I have not gone down there before ever. But now that I know someone who goes, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to try to like get some of the same buzz from StitchCon at like a local stitchy day. Like I have 2 friends that stitch there. I'm going to try to get Allison to go. Like, so I think going to StitchCon was good for me on a lot of ways, just like being an adult, being a human being, not just being a mom. Like, it was really good for me, and my family worked so hard to help me make it happen, like watching my kids and stuff, and have already agreed to like help me go back next year and like watch the kids again next year. So I'm very excited. But also it reminded me like I need to seek that out in smaller bites, like on a more regular basis. Like it can't be like a year before I feel like a human being again, you know? And I'll do final StitchCon thoughts. Okay, so there are 2 people who put out StitchCon recaps already. I'll link to Mega Stitches, Milka Mega Stitches, and Janet Jabber. It was so great meeting both of you guys, and I enjoyed watching your videos yesterday and today. So go check those out. Here are kind of my like wrap up thoughts about it from like a personal perspective. I need to plan better. I was still like doing table gifts and stuff a few days before. Part of it is that I got sick, but I should have been doing that. Like once I knew I was going, I kept kind of thinking like it was going to be silly to go, and then it wasn't going to work out, and I was going to back out. And then I didn't. I just kept like being like, well, no, I really want to go. But it kind of felt selfish to go when like I have little kids and my family is like, it didn't feel like a great time. I've shared a lot about my personal stuff on the channel, so I won't go into it again, but it didn't feel like a great time to take a week to myself. You know, it was 5 days. One of my kids needed 5 days of childcare, and the other kid needed 7 days of childcare. And that felt very selfish. But so I kept thinking I was going to end up not going, or like, and my brain wasn't processing that I really am going to go. And then I really was going. And then it was time to like make gifts and stuff. And now that I know next year I really am going to go, I want to start working on gifts like a lot earlier. Like I may not know the person who's going to be at my table. Like we're saying we're going to sit together again, but like things, you know, people's lives change. So I may have to like make decisions about, you know, is this gift going to be for that person? And then maybe that doesn't work out, but it'd still be better to like be doing it ahead of time. And I also would like to do a pass around gift. It was really sweet to receive pass around gifts, and I'll show you guys the ones that I got in haul for those who are, or in kindness for those who are interested. But I want to have a pass around gift. It doesn't feel great for someone. I mean, it feels wonderful for someone to hand you a little gift. It doesn't feel great to have nothing to give back to them, even though it's not expected or necessary. And there were so many cute things like that I know I need to brainstorm. And if I get in and I'm all paid up in September, October, whatever, I think it's September. If everything works out again, I need to take the like 6 months or whatever and just pick something I want to do and make it a little bit at a time instead of like waiting until like the last minute. And that way I have time to make table gifts and like pass around gifts. And I liked what I gave away as table gifts. Did I take a picture of them? No. But I made, I dyed a bunch of different fabrics. So I took a mix of like, I took all the like vintage fabrics that I have that like I've thrifted or been given. And I went out and thrifted a few higher count ones just to have some in the mix. So it was a mix of 14, 16, 18 count Aida, 27, 28 count linen, and then I think there was some 32 count linen in there. And I dyed them all like different colors and stuff, and I put together packs that were like 3 pieces of fabric, like small, for like smalls, and some like coordinating vintage trim as much as I could coordinate it, and some coordinating finishing fabric as much as I could coordinate it. And so everything in the bags was like thrifted and upcycled. And that project was really great in terms of like environmentally. That project was great. I wish I would have I wish I would have thought of it 2 months ago and like slowly worked on it 2 months ago. That would have been better than doing it like the couple days before I went. And also I lost a week that I thought I was going to be working on it, but like so I liked the gift. I have some ideas about like how I would have executed it differently, in terms of like just actually what the gift was, and then also how to make it like fit into my life better and feel a little bit easier and neater, because I was like, so next year I want to take a little more pride in the gifts that I'm giving out, and also table gifts and pass around gifts, and work on them, kind of start working on them once I know I'm actually going. And then if something happens and I end up not going, that's okay. Like, I want to get better sleep and take better care of myself while I was before and after. Now, well, that doesn't make sense. Because I was so sick, by the time I got there, I was already really depleted, and I did not get enough sleep while I was there. But it would have been also, but I should have gotten, I should have been working on making sure I was getting enough sleep before. And then if I moved some of the prep work like out further, I can focus on like taking better care of myself, getting better sleep and stuff before. I couldn't help that I was sick, but I could have done more stuff the whole time, so that I didn't have as much stuff that I needed to get done. And then, because there are pictures where my face is so puffy, and my hands and feet were puffy because I was sleep deprived and like sitting and standing the whole day. And I get puffy when I don't have enough sleep. I mean, there are some pictures where my eyes are like basically sealed shut. And, so like, and I was like yawning all the time, and like, it was kind of a joke that I would like, there are just some things where it's like, now that I know how much I both want to be at the table early and also want to be up late in the late night stitching room, and I'm not going to get much sleep there, I need to go in better, having better taken care of myself, so that I don't, leave. I left feeling so personally satisfied, and yet I also needed to take a nap in the hotel parking lot because I could not get a later checkout. Then they let me stay till 12:30, but they were really fighting me on it. And it's like, I'm a card member at Marriott, and I have been for like 10 years. And I used to be able to get a 3 p.m. like checkout as like a perk. And I haven't traveled that much in the last year, so I don't know what happened, but apparently like this Marriott, that is not. They like didn't want to, they told me I could have a 12 o'clock checkout, and then I had to go down because my key wasn't working, and they had to make me a new key, and then so that took 15 minutes, and then they still wanted me to be out at 12:30, and I was like, you just took up 15 minutes, I need to pack my stuff. So I packed all my stuff up, got out of there at 12:30, they really were not happy about it, and then I got in the car and I was so tired, I took like a 30-minute nap in the parking lot. Before I left. So like, I need to take better care of myself beforehand, so that I have more reserves to burn through, so that I'm not so at the end of like my capacity by the end of it. It was so wonderful, but I would have had more fun if I had taken better care of myself before and during. And also, I'm a really bad bedtime procrastinator. And so I was like watching Real Housewives and watching Flosstubes and stuff. And I'm an introvert. I really do need alone time to kind of process and things, but I should have taken better care of myself and forced myself to go to sleep better. So yeah, plan better, execute better, get more sleep. Don't be so tired and puffy. Also, I was like very sweaty the whole time. It's just a mix of like humidity, summertime, convention, air conditioning. I think I could have made some better choices about like what I wore to like accommodate those situations, because there's some photos of me that were taken at night where my bangs look nuts. My face is puffy. I'm so tired. And it's like my one chance to take that one picture with that one friend that I've been talking to. So like, I just, from a logistics standpoint, I just need to do a better job of looking out for myself. Okay. Those were my thoughts. Now, cross stitch plans. So we're going to film our whip parade. So Thursday or Friday, you're going to see my like StitchCon budget video and retreat budget video. Then Monday, you're going to see our whip parade. I think we're going to keep it as one part. I'm the person who makes the decision. She's going to come over and we're going to film it. I think I'm going to do it as like one big one because it's easier. The Paula Vaughn along starts July 1st. I have more Paula Vaughn orders to send out today now that I'm back. People are excited about it. People who are not excited about it are like, whatever. But people who are excited about the Paula Vaughn along are very excited about it. I'm hosting that with Jen from Jen's Fiberweb. We're starting July 1st. I'm so stoked. So if you are thinking about joining us, you still have time to either go through your stash, see if you have patterns, go check out a thrift store, see if there's one there, or I have some still for sale in my Etsy stash. I will link that below. Today is June 17th. So there's still plenty of time if you wanted one that I have in my shop for me to send it to you. I had my shop on like a longer processing time because of being gone, but once I do the orders that I have 5 orders I have to send out today. Once those are out, I will move the time back to like the 1 to 3 days. So there's still time for you if you want to join us, but you don't have a pattern. I do have some. Okay, so that starts, and then I'm gonna be stitching my Hello for Liz Matthews on my birthday. Last year I did like a whole like 40th birthday Sal thing. This year I think I want to kind of tone it down and just be like, stitch Hello from Liz Matthews, any piece. My birthday is July 16th, so you can stitch it any time in July, but if you want to stitch on my birthday, July 16th is my birthday. I'm going to start Seaside, which is the summer house in her like 2 fabric house series. It was a Patreon last summer. I don't think it's available, but she has so many good patterns and she has great freebies on her website. So I think we'll call it, last year it was like Hello 40s birthday Sal, or I think maybe this year we'll say like, hello, it's my birthday Sal. So stitch any Hello from Liz Matthews piece, but it's not going to be like the full thing as it was last year because turning 41 is way less eventful than turning 40, you know. Anyway, so those are plans. All right, I'm going to go get my haul and Stitchy Kindness from the retreat. So the only thing I will say, if you don't want to see haul or kindness, is that there will be a giveaway at the end. So you can skip that stuff if you only want to get to the giveaway. But if you don't care about that either, then what I would say is Allie from Allie's is Crafty, who I've mentioned on here a lot, sent me home with a giant D-stash. So this D-stash, she went through her stash and she pulled a million fabrics, project bags. She pulled patterns, for me to list in my D-stash, and then we're gonna split the money because she wants it out of her craft room. She wants to buy new stuff, but she doesn't want to do the process of getting it out the door. So yay, win, win, win. So I'm going to try to get that stuff up at some point next week. But if you've been looking for like modern fabric, a lot of it is Aida and Lugana. There's still some Jackson Fabric Arc Hemp. If you like project bags, if you're looking for, like if you like bright, colorful, modern stuff. Not if you're like, I don't like vintage D-stashes. This is a bright, colorful, modern D-stash, but I need a few days. I'm not a few days. I need to. Okay, there's just weird people outside. I need to process it, list it, and then I will film a video about that. My goal would be to have it come out sometime next week, but don't hold me to that. But just like, you can follow my Etsy store if you want to be like the first person to see things go live. If you follow my Etsy store on Etsy, you will see things earlier than when I post them here. But I will do a D-stash video here too, so you can see it, especially if you want to like see the fabrics and stuff. Now let's reset and do haul and kindness and the giveaway. That'll be the only 3 things that are left. I have a whole table full of stuff. Let's start with haul because there's just like less of it. So I can start moving some stuff off the table because there's less haul than anything else. Okay, so haul. So I set my haul budget for like $85. And then it slowly kept creeping up. And by the end, I think I spent like, well, I'll do the math and I'll share that in the video on Thursday. But I spent a lot more than $85 in haul. But I still felt like I was pretty good. So one thing I knew, so I bought the 2 color and cotton conversions. I bought the Retreat Exclusive and the Retreat Exclusives thread pack. And then I also bought Blooming Tiny Town from Heart and Hand because I want to use this for Make It Murder or Make It Murder style in September this year. So this was like one of the things on my list that I knew I absolutely wanted to get. I'm going to put it, for some reason I've decided that all my Make It Murder Tiny Towns live under this box for the time being until I get organized again. So we're just going to put it right there so I don't lose it. Okay, so that is really all that I bought was like a ton of color and cotton floss, the Retreat Exclusive, and thread pack and that pattern. And then I bought a couple little gifts for people that I gave while I was there. So when I talk about my total, it was a little bit higher than you would expect those things to be. So then I pulled things off the freebie table. Some of these are not for me, but I'll share as I go. So Allie found these on the freebie table and thought she'd heard me say I was going to put beads on my Tiny Modernist Smooth Haze Bell Pull, and I think this will work so good. I think I still need some smaller ones for the confetti stitches. And then I think the ones where they have like 2 stitches for each star, this will look like amazing. So thrilled about that. Then Allie was going to put some stuff on the freebie table, and including these 2 Aidas, and we decided to give this Aida to Allison. It looks like a 14 or a 16, I'm not sure. And then I thought this was an Aida. This might be a Lugana, actually. She was going to put this on the freebie table, and I was like, oh, that needs some Christmas ornaments. Like, I think this might even literally be a Lugana version of Christmas Red. So I have a ton of stuff that's going on there. So this is going to be for me. Hello. So my battery died. I'm back. I also grabbed off the freebie table this Surged. It looks like a 14 count, might be a 16, but I think it's 14 count. 14 count navy Aida. It feels like a Zweigart. It has about, I don't know, 20 stitches that need to be frogged, but other than that, it's great. I use navy blue Aida more often than you might think, just because I like it as a substitute for black, both like just how it looks and also like stitching quality. I have multiple projects that are called for on black that I'm doing on navy. I didn't like just grab things to grab them. I only grabbed things I thought I would really actually want. So this lavender and lace sampler is so pretty. And I don't know, you know, I don't have any plans to start it, but it was on the freebie table on the last day, and it was lavender and lace. It's called Angel Sampler, and I just couldn't leave it behind. It's also very pretty. I feel like it would be a very fun sampler to do and just change the quote in it, because so much of it is just alphabets. But anyway, that's for me. Then I grabbed this pattern for me. It's so beautiful. It's Maroon Bells in Colorado. I've never been there, but I have been to the Rockies in Colorado, and I love the Rockies in Colorado. Actually, I've charted quite a few patterns of the Rockies in Colorado that I haven't actually released yet, but I just thought that was so pretty. I didn't want to leave it behind. Then okay, so then Erin from Fairy Tales and French Knots, she and I were chatting about Prairie Moon and how like these patterns used to go for a lot, but now they've re-released them, so they don't go for that much, but they're only selling PDFs, so some people do want to buy the paper patterns. And so she'd sold some, and this one, I think it was this one, didn't sell. I think it was this one. Anyway, so she was like, oh yeah, Allison likes Prairie Moon. So then she found one. So one of these is from her stash, and one of these is one that she found, but she gave me both of them to give to Allison. And Allison is currently working on one that's like this, that's from this series, the Crypt Club series. So I've told Allison all this stuff, and I know she won't watch this video until long after I've given her this stuff, because I'm going to give her this stuff on Thursday, so don't worry about her. But that was so thoughtful of Erin, so thank you. And then I picked up this pattern. I have sold this pattern before, but I actually really liked it, and it was one that I was kind of on the fence about selling. And so to see it on the freebie table, I was like, yeah, let's bring it back to mama. Okay. Then I'm posting the Paula Vaughn along. And I had sold my copy of, I destashed my copy of Because of Spring and my copy of Paula Vaughn's Quilt for All Seasons, because I'm not allowed to have a Paula Vaughn collection, and they weren't the ones that I was really going to stitch. But then I saw them on the freebie table, and I was like, but I actually do want a copy of it. So it's kind of best of both worlds. I destashed my copies, but now I can be regretful that I did that and put them back in my collection. And then here, there was also this Paula Vaughn that I'm obsessed with, that I had not seen before, or if I'd seen it before, I had never had this one before, called Cherish Moments. So these are gonna go in my personal collection. I need to like get a sticker or something that I put on things that are not, like where they're gifts or things that are not allowed to be sold, just because I'm organized, but I'm not as organized as one might hope. So anyway. Then Andrew and I were talking about doing a Hardanger sale, like a My First Hardanger sale. Not now, but like in the future. And we were chatting about it, and Barb, not Barbara, but another woman who was working at StitchCon called Barb, was there, and we were talking about how like, yeah, like people have to do these arts for them to stay. And he had picked up a Hardanger from the freebie table, and I said, well, I have a bunch that I'm destashing, but when it's time, if I have any of those, we'll just take them out of rotation. But then Barb saw this at the freebie table and brought it. So now this will be the one that stays in my personal collection. And look at how gorgeous that is. I don't know. I mean, the colors on it are, the pictures inside are not that colorful, but the pictures on the outside are so colorful and inspirational. So, you know, at some point before 2030, look for a Hardanger sale. And then I also saw this copy of Kitchen Stitchin', and Marissa from Imkissa Creations really wants a copy of this. We chatted about it a little bit. And so I grabbed this one, and I'll either send her my copy and keep this one, or I'll send her this one. I don't fully know the etiquette behind it, but she wants to stitch from it because a family friend wants to stitch from it. And I always thought it would be kind of fun to do this for the Strawberry Moon Sal, which is a sal hosted by Marjorie Maid. Not this year because my plate's full, but at some point. And I just love this book. I have destashed a couple copies of this book, but I did keep one for me because I love it. So I was so excited to see one I can send Marissa. And again, I don't know the etiquette if I need to keep this one and I can send her my copy or whatever, but it will get stitched out of. So that's kind of what you hope for. I also love this basket of lemons. Anyway, I've talked about this booklet many times. And then I also picked up Needlework Antique Flowers, which was great because I just sold that beautiful Thea Guvner flower book, and now I have a book that I cannot sell that also has beautiful, beautiful florals in it. These do seem, oh my god, look at that. Oh, look at that. I'm not going to do a flip through or anything, but I'm very excited to have this in my personal collection. And then this A Year of Cross Stitch. There were lots of books and things. I was like, I've looked at so many vintage patterns. I know myself now to know if something's going to be something I'm really going to want to stitch out of or not. So I didn't pick up anything that I thought wouldn't fit the eventually I want to stitch out of it category. This book has just some fun pieces. So that's what I grabbed off the freebie table. So that was my haul. Stitchy Kindness. So first of all, here's the offcut of that beautiful piece of pistachio, and Allie like totally could have kept this, but she told me to keep it. So I will definitely stitch with it. It's gorgeous. Okay, let's move to table gifts. So I already told you guys what my table gift was. This beautiful sewing kit came from Julie, so thank you, Julie. And this is something that Deborah made. She sewed it. It's quilted, and the bottom is cork that she is like a legit sewer. And I'm gonna be honest, her and her daughter were sitting together. Her daughter is Sarah. At the beginning, when you're like exchanging presents with a stranger and you haven't really settled in to know them, I don't remember 100% if this came from Sarah and Deborah or if it just came from Deborah. Because when she handed it to me, I wasn't even processing that they were mother and daughter. So if it also came from you, Sarah, thank you. And if it did not, then Deborah, I'm sorry for giving Sarah any of your credit, but you're a mother and daughter, so I'm sure that's all fine. But inside too is this Alaska souvenir pen, which obviously I'm going to turn into a needle minder at some point. And then this Alaska tea for two blueberry herbal tea, which considering I just started Huckleberry Farm, which I know blueberries and huckleberries aren't the same thing, but I do think I should drink it while stitching Huckleberry Farm. Look at the inside. I mean, this is gorgeous. So, and they were just so wonderful. So I love it so much. And then one table gift from Liz was these beautiful, now I don't know if in her mind they were going to be like bag tags or scissor fobs, but we got to pick out like the animal that we wanted, and I picked out a butterfly. I figured it would be fun to put this with my Wings of Spring Sal. Oh. So it actually has been on the project bag for that. So I took it off to show you guys, but it'll go right back. But she made that. And then Andrew, the runner stitcher, had these sweet little table gift bags. I think Liz's gift came with something small else that I might have eaten or something. I can't remember. Again, the very first bits of getting a table were like all a blur. But okay, so then Andrew the runner stitcher came with these sweet little bags, and inside were some project cards for your bags with like information about them and his channel, the photo that's his channel logo. Some Karen water lilies in the color Midnight. I mean, yes, please. I think what's funny is I think I actually have been stitching with this for Moonglow, so I think I might have like this full skein plus another half a skein, so I might actually have enough to do like a nice little sampler in just this color, which will be so great. But then, guys, okay, you're not ready for what's in this box from Andrew. Oh, there was also a honeysucker that I ate instantly. But you guys are not ready for what's in here. If you watch Jen the Caffeinated Crafter, then you might know that Andrew has a particular skill. And that is he makes cross-stitch dies. And he made a pair for everybody at the table. So now I need to do something like I need to do some kind of like whip wheel or like random whip thing or whatever where I pull the dice out. And I actually think that keeping them with this box will be great. So, I mean, I don't know if technically they are like casino random, you know, like a level that like, but in terms of just doing some game with myself, amazing. Look how good those are. I don't know if they're on perforated paper or plastic canvas. They are so impressive. So I'm going to cherish these forever. I'm putting them on my desk. I need to think of something to do. I can't let my kids get anywhere near them. I need to think of something to do with them, like for next year in my plans. Like whether it's like, I know, so Tara from Multi Women Crafts was there. And she used a pair to like figure out how many stitches she needed to do for her Whipco goal instead of like the dice she has at home. I need to figure out something like that. Like maybe next year Whipco isn't 500 stitches, it's whatever I roll. Like I need to be using those dice. Okay, so that was like, everyone's so crazy generous. Okay. Oh, and then Allie, kitted up the retreat piece with the fabric, the pattern, and the floss. It was going to go to someone. There was a mix-up where that person, two sets of that gift were purchased for that person. And so she just told me to give the other one to Allison. And I was like, we can probably try to take it back. And she's like, no, just give it to Allison. So Allison's got the full fabric, floss, and pattern for the retreat piece, which the retreat piece is like, yes, there's like, you can make it so that it's personalized to the retreat, but it also can just be like a pretty pattern that any stitcher would enjoy. So I'm going to give that to Allison. And then Allie also grabbed her a copy of the Keepsakes needle minder when we were there. So she grabbed 2 of these. So I'm going to put that in Allison's bag. So Allison is got a very nice little bag of goodies coming her way. All right, now these are just kind of like pass around gifts and gifts from other people that I met, like little things. And I didn't think I was going to share all of them. And then the more I thought about it, it's like, why not? It's fun to see other people's ideas and things. And it was so fun meeting people. And some people left them on my table when I wasn't there. And so I didn't even get to say thank you. So if they actually ever watch this video, then they would know that I'm appreciative. So, okay. So first of all, this one's kind of funny. So this, so Hillary from Subpar Stitches, who wants me to tell you guys that she is hilarious, or something. What did she want me to say? But anyway, you should follow her. She's hilarious. She has a cross-stitch channel. She also has a nail polish channel, and so she has like a giant nail polish collection. And she brought a bunch up to the late night stitching room so that people could pick some out to help her like par her collection down. And so I picked 6. Don't worry, I was not even close to the person who picked the most. But Strawberry Fields, which I thought would be a pretty summer color. What's funny is I'm like pretty OPI brand loyal. I have like, I think OPI is the only brand of nail polish that I've used in 15 years. Other than when I get gel, maybe all the way back to prom. I can remember picking out OPI nail polishes in high school. So, it's kind of fun to own colors I would never have bought myself. So I grabbed that one. I really like to own nail polish because when I do get my nails done, like I don't get my nails done a lot lately. I used to get them done when life was easier. I would get them done every 2 weeks, but we're stretching it out anyway. When I went and got my nails done, I like to take my nail polish with me because I really like to be able to fix my own chips and stuff. So it's fun to have the colors. So that color, this color, which she said she doesn't like white nail polish because it reminds her of teeth, which is hilarious. I I'm from the era when a French manicure was a thing. I know people don't really do it anymore, but I like a French manicure. And then I grabbed this color mostly because it was just OPI and I love OPI. And then also I thought it'd be kind of a fun color. So thank you, Hillary. All right, and then these are the like little pass around gifts and things. This is a trolley needle thread controller. I've seen people use these. And there's also either a scissor fob or like bag bling or, you know, whatever in here. But I don't remember if I was there when this was being passed out. No, I was because I asked about it, but I don't remember who left it. And they probably came with like a sticker or a card that has gotten removed from it. But thank you so much. It's so cool. I'm very excited about it. And then Marissa, who is Crafting Without Kids. She was passing around gifts and she was part of our Make It Murder sale. So I tagged her Instagram here before, and then also I had a giveaway to give her, so it was great to see her there. So her pass around gift was these like cute notebooks, and then this needle minder and like thread bling that were cheese, because I think she's from Wisconsin. I think that's why it was cheese. But she gave one for me, and then she gave me one to give to Allison, which is great because Allison and her husband are huge Green Bay Packers fans, inexplicably. And then Marissa also gave me this as part of the Make It Murder celebration. So I'm going to put this in my Make It Murder project bag so that I can pull it out when I'm working in September on the next round. Erin and Amity, the Hathaway Stitchers, passed out this beautiful floss, which is a Silks For You, which I've never used Silks For You. So it's 2 different colors of Silks For You and a free name tag pattern, which is super fun. And they also sent one for me to give to Allison. This Crafty Stitches floss tube. This beautiful like thread organizer with some floss bling on it. So Danielle, I think it's so cute. And then a floss drop. Shannon, I think this is from Shannon. I met Shannon. Yeah, Shannon Dunn. I met her when I was talking to Marissa, and she passed out this bag of candy, and I like really wanted to eat the whole candy but I knew if I didn't keep it intact I wouldn't remember to thank her or anything. So I did it. I haven't eaten it yet, but I can't wait. And then Lisa, who is Lady Huzzah Presents. I've suggested her channel before because she has really good tips for like blackbirds and biscornues. Anyway, look up this cute little pin cushion that she made. This cute little acorn pin cushion. So thank you, Lisa. It was nice meeting you. And then, okay. When you get needle minders in the mix, things just get messy. Okay. EJ from the Sunside Sisters. It was so nice meeting you. She passed out this set of floss drops with their logo, which was so sweet. And I think it's 5 of them on there. So it is enough to put like a good project on this ring without like mixing and matching, which is kind of fun. Athena, who is Stitching Goddess Designs. I know I missed when you came around and passed these out, but she passed out this cute little fish. I don't know if you can see that with her business card. Thank you. And oh, these were fun. Tiny tongs for tiny stitching from Catherine, the absent-minded stitcher, to eat snacks with while you are stitching. And then, Zan, Crazy Band Lady Stitches, who I know of through Memphis Sarah E, passed out these beautiful little tag, like this beautiful little jewelry that you can put on a bag as a zipper pull, or a lot of like pretty blingy, flossy, scissor pulley things can kind of be interchanged depending on what you want. I'm kind of assuming what it is, but I'm not 100% sure the intention, but it's so cute. Oh, and she let us pick it. I picked that dragonfly because I'm starting dragonfly in November. So I was like, that's perfect. Oh, those missing stitches, passed out fabric, and I told her, I was like, Laura from Stitching by the Shore is always stitching on those missing stitches fabric and loves it. And I'm very excited to grow up to be like Laura. So I picked out this Sassy Sophia. I used to live in Sophia, the city. And this is a 28 count Lugana. And I think it's a whole fat 8. And it's really beautiful. And I think I thought I was grabbing linen, but mostly I was just drawn to this color because I was like, oh, that will be good for some smalls, some Halloween smalls. Although toonies might also look really good on here. Basically, something will look really good on here. Oh, I wanted to start toonies tomorrow on my mom's birthday. I need to remember to do that. Okay, Marjorie from Marjorie Made passed out. Like, you could ship different implements. I picked out a measuring tape, and Allie had a unicorn measuring tape. And like, the joke of the whole StitchCon was like how a measuring tape is basically one of the most crucial things you can bring with you to a retreat, because you will want to start something and you will need to measure something. So very excited to put this in my like next retreat and stitching day like bag, because I have a tape measure that I use all the time for like shipping and stuff, but like to have this one that's more like cross stitch specific for me is very exciting. Oh, I love this. Millennial Fabrics made these cute little again, they're all like cute things that go on other cute things. My guess is this one is for scissors, but mine says Sal, but they said different things, like some said whip and some said FFO. Oh, my friend Shelly. So I love vintage hoops, and Shelly, the antique needleworker, is like 90% of the reason that I got into vintage hoops and learned enough to know about them to collect them. I also stitched one of her earliest designs, which was this Delia Conger reproduction sampler. I told her I'm entering it in the state fair. It won't win its category because its category, it'll go up against like fully completed long dogs because the sampler category is very competitive. But it is going in the state fair. Anyway, I was so excited to meet Shelly, and she had the sweetest little gifts. Look at this little guy. Oh, so cute. And then some, a set of floss tags, which this is enough colors of floss cards to do one of her samplers. Like, that had, I think, 4 colors exactly. So I'm very excited about those. And then this sweet little ruler. It goes to 4 inches, but like, which is perfect for if you want to start. It would get so much use. So I'm very excited about that. This said StitchCon. It's so cute. I don't remember who this is from, and it's so sweet. And I also don't remember if I said thank you to the person, because I don't know if I was at the table, but it's so cute. So we'll definitely be using that. I believe this cat came from Chandria, I think, but I'm not 100% that it did, but I'm pretty sure it did, because we had like I got it very early, but I'm pretty sure, because I know she also gave me, or did this come from Tamara or Hannah? I know which table this came from, but it was like very early on, and I was very already anxious and overwhelmed. So whoever gave me this needle minder, it's so sweet. Thank you so much. I love it. And I'm sorry that I'm mixing up who it came from. Next year I'll have a better, well, so I think next year I'll just show up with like less anxiety, because I'll have like a better idea of like what's gonna happen, and so I won't be so like, you know. And so Erin from Fairy Tale and French Knots passed out these cute little needle minders. Chandria gave me this tacky belt for beading, which is wonderful, because have I beaded Moon Glow yet? I have not. Partially because I am worried, well, a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons that I'm worried about, I haven't had a good way to organize my beads. Okay. Somebody, and I feel very terrible, gave me these needle minders. One is for me, one is for Allison. They're so cute, and they're homemade. I can't remember who it was. I'm so sorry. I remember getting them and I can't remember. I remember getting them. I can't remember what table I was standing at. I remember picking them out and you were so sweet to then say, oh, do you want to give one to Allison? Like it was, but I can't. I'm so sorry. I know why you gave them to me in person, so I did thank you in person. But they don't have any information with them, but they're so cute. I'm going to put Allison's in her bag so I don't forget hers. Okay. Oh, Aaron and Amity gave out stickers too, which were so cute. Milka from Mega Stitches passed out these, here's her pre-card. Passed out these frogs. I talked to her a bunch of times, but when she actually passed this out, I was not at the table, so I didn't hear if there was like a fun story or anything about it, but thank you, Milka. Oh, Laura came all the way from Costa Rica. She brought some Costa Rican candy, and then somebody told her about the Paula Vaughn sale, and she came over and showed me all these pictures of her like fully stitched Paula Vaughns. She was not committing to the sale though, because she has already done a bunch of them, and that's not something you jump into lightly if you've already done a bunch. This is a floss wand from Jamie Santiago to help get out, like, you know, when you frog and you need to get this stuff out, which is great because I've never had one. Vintage cottage stitches came around and gave this tail tool. I think it sounds amazing. I'm not sure how to use it. I need to watch a video on how you actually like execute it. I have theories, but I know I'm not like 100%. Anyway, so thank you so much. And then the last thing that I have is this cute little hedgehog. I can't remember. And it might have been on my table when I wasn't there. I don't remember. I'm so sorry. So I feel so overwhelmed with all the gifts. It's crazy to like show up at your table and then there's just like stuff there. Oh, Lizzie from Frizzy Stitches passed out some stickers too that I didn't. I put them in a separate place because they came at like a different time. They're probably in a project bag. But yeah, you know, it's kind of crazy to get like 50 tiny little gifts over 4 days, and I really wish I had something to give back, and next year I will be having something to give back. And it was so great to see like kind of the range both of like ideas and the range of like how time intensive different things were to put together. Like I feel it was really wonderful and very inspiring that everyone had so much generosity, and I would like to be a part of that next year. Okay, if I met you at StitchCon, I would love to be in touch. If we're not already in touch, my Instagram account is in the description if you don't have a Flosstube. If you do have a Flosstube, or comment your Instagram and your Flosstube or your Flosstube below, and I will make sure that I'm following you because I would love to stay in touch. But I just released my love bug on Etsy, which is this pattern. So for this video, let's give away a digital copy of that. So if you want to win, in your comment, use the word love. No, we all use the word love all the time. Use the word bug, B-U-G. Don't use like giveaway or win or anything that will get trolls interested, but use the word bug in your comment, and that will let me know that you were entering to win a PDF copy of Love Bug. It can be anywhere in the world because it's just an email address, and you don't have to be any age because I just have to email it to you. If you made it to this point in the video, which is longer than I expected to be, leave a heart emoji in your favorite color in honor of Color and Cotton's beautiful cotton color wall of gorgeous flosses. And I will see you guys on Thursday or Friday, but hopefully Thursday, to go in detail into like how much money I spent and where I was able to save money based on like what I know from just being a professional traveler and like categories of things to plan for trips. So if you just like to be nosy, you're welcome to watch that video. Or if you're thinking you want to go to a retreat, you're welcome to watch that video. And then on Monday, you should see our whip parade with Allison. So thank you so much. Bye.